Hey everybody, Rich with our little homestead. Tomorrow being the first day of spring, well, you know what spring brings? Lots and lots of eggs. After a long winter's wait for a plethora of eggs, the wait is over. So one of the problems we've always had is, what are we going to do with all these eggs? We've always had a lot of eggs. And in the past, we'd sell some of our eggs to our friends, family, people we know, and the chickens help pretty much pay for themselves during those months. Well, now we have a harvest right freeze dryer. So this year we're gonna be freeze drying some extra eggs. Looks pretty cool, and the powder looks pretty neat to play around with, rather being a recipe or some people make them into protein shakes. I don't know, but we'll figure out some uses for them. But it's a great way to store our eggs. Water glassing is still gonna be one of our preferred ways of storing eggs, but this will be a close second. So let's go through the process. With the medium harvest rate freeze dryer, it has been said that it will hold 1 dozen eggs per tray. So with the medium, we have the capability of freeze drying 48 eggs. This is 3 days worth of eggs, I think. No way I can eat those all, even though I'll try. But so we need to do 48 eggs, and that's what we're gonna start doing. We're gonna whisk them up about 6 at a time, and then they're gonna go right into the trays in the freezer. Roll that beautiful egg footage. So we're gonna do, like I said, about 6 at a time, just so we can whisk them properly. And then we're gonna put them into a pitcher to pour into the trays. Because we cannot put the eggs directly into the freeze dryer. To freeze dry, we have to freeze them first. They have a high fat content, so we have to make sure we do it properly. Otherwise, we're gonna have a serious mess on our hands. That is 1 dozen eggs in the tray. You know, there's room for a little bit more, but I think we're safe with 1 dozen. I'm sure we could probably fit 4 or 5 more in there. But for now, I think we might just stick with the 12 per tray and see how that goes for us. Here the trays are completely full and they have frozen. We're gonna let them freeze overnight though, only because, well, why not, you know? We end up using more than 1 dozen per tray, so I wanna say we used around 15 per tray, and we didn't really wanna make them too much more than half full. That corner's a little bit full, but we kind of wanted to give them a little bit of space so as that the trays were not overflowing. So all in all, about, I don't know, 60 eggs, and it filled our trays just fine. 24 hours later, we've pulled the eggs out of the freezer. We have pre-freezed our freeze dryer. So this is kind of what we got right now. Let's see how beautifully orange those are. They're quite nice. So we're just gonna stick them in here and see how it goes. I'm really kind of excited about this. Okay, so 45 hours later, we are freeze-dried, egg-delicious, delicious. So here you can see the surface of the sun and or freeze-dried eggs. Consistency yet unknown. Pretty cool looking though. Of course, we did about 12 to 15 per tray, so we didn't have any giant, explosion or anything like that. They look pretty darn good. Of course, we're gonna stick these in some Mylar bags with some oxygen absorbers. Let's check out the consistency of these things. Yeah, as to be expected, kind of styrofoamy. What I'm We used our 300 cc oxygen absorbers for the eggs.
Oh, I seal it twice. I don't trust that seal. Sometimes 3 times.
So what we have here is a little bit of the freeze-dried eggs. And the conversion for freeze-dried eggs is 1 tablespoon of powder to roughly 2 tablespoons of water. Make sure you could use milk or heavy cream or there's probably 4 there. I don't know, maybe more.
Maybe more. Okay, 5.
Let's find out.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe there's 3. It's supposed to be heaping.
Yes, actually, it did say heaping. It's funny that you should say that. 2 heaping tablespoons. 3. Excuse me. So what do we get? About 4.
4 and like a level one. So almost 5. That one.
So here we go with the reconstitution. Need about 10 tablespoons for the 2-to-1 conversion.
Looks like a lot.
It does look like a lot. I wonder how many eggs that actually is.
That's 10.
All right, so now it's the moment of truth. Back up a little bit. The focus was shifting. Does it look watery?
It does, but I think we should let it sit for maybe like 10 minutes before we, just to make sure it really like absorbs all that.
Okay, we'll be back. We've reconstituted the eggs for about 10 minutes. And as you can see, we got the very egg-like, for lack of a better term, sliminess to it, I guess. So now we're just going to fry them up, see how it tastes. There's a consensus that there's no real wrong way to reconstitute an egg unless you underconstitute. So you want to add more liquid rather than less, I guess, for lack of a better term. We're gonna add a little heavy cream in there and we're gonna throw them in the frying pan and see how these things go.
All right, let's hope for the best.
Underconstitution of the eggs will lead to a rubbery egg, and as many of you egg eaters know, you can always cook off extra moisture with egg. So not really a big deal if you overconstitute. We read actually somewhere where some people go 7 parts water to 1 part egg, which seems rather ridiculous. But I guess if you want to make your dollar stretch. I don't know if y'all ever seen, what's his name, Gordon Ramsay? How he cooks scrambled eggs? But like, there you go, they're done. Not here in the United States, buddy.
Not for us anyways.
Oh yeah, I mean some people might like them like that. Look at that, they look literally very yummy.
All right, the taste test.
The taste test. So as you can see, it made probably what, about 2 or 3?
Probably close to 3 eggs.
Yeah. Here we go.
Tastes like vanilla ice cream.
No, they don't taste like vanilla ice cream. But they do taste delicious. Absolutely There's not a bit of difference.
No?
None. They're delicious.
Awesome.
They're actually better than the scrambled eggs I just made an hour ago. Anyways, that's it. That's all we got for today. Fun project. Took a couple days to complete. A couple days in the freeze dryer. A day of prep. Not really a big deal. But guess that's it for now. Until next time, be good to one another and support local farms.